Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is the one that I was looking forward to. Honestly, that's because first of all, the smoky eyes that Janhvi did for this makeup look, it was absolutely stunning. It had like an ombre kind of effect and I thought this was so beautiful. The makeup was just so wearable, even to a party or a nighttime Indian weddings, and it's just like it will look so good with both Eastern and Western outfits. Of course, mine is like the crown and all that, but you can totally make the tikka rock. Like, I thought it was looking amazing altogether. This makeup look was by far the best makeup look that came out in my opinion, so here it is. First thing first, I like to use a primer. For that, I'm using my Smashbox Original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur primer. Now if you are doing a film, like obviously like the way she was doing, or flash photography, you want to make sure your skin looks blurred and smooth, and for that you definitely need a blurring primer. So Smashbox is hands down one of my favorite. Moving on to my brows, for that I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. Now Janhvi Kapoor, she naturally has a very thick brows and very nice, like she doesn't need a lot of coverage, whereas I don't have that. So I'm gonna obviously create that sharp brow look, and especially because it suits my face, so I'm gonna have to do it. So first thing first, I always like to draw that bottom line that sort of shapes my eyebrows, and then I like to work on the inner part, creating small strokes, hair-like strokes, and then eventually on the arch, and then create that outer portion of my brow bone. And then what I do after is I kind of go in between that creation of my brows, go in and fill in those sparse areas to make it look fuller and finer. Fuller and finer, that sounds really funny. Fuller and nice. So I'm just brushing out with some spoolie that's right behind this brow wiz. After which I'm gonna be using Gimme Brow. This is like a brow mascara. I got this like as a kind of like a tiny example, or like, you know, like a try thing that you get from Sephora, like those little tryout pieces. I got it from there, but I totally used it for this. Now for today's eyes, like honestly I wanted to use Maybelline foundation as my kind of like my eyeshadow primer. Instead of using like a very bright eyeshadow primer like the last tutorial, I actually went with like a skin colored foundation. So the one that I'm using is the 24-hour foundation by Maybelline in shade 312 Golden Door. The reason why I'm using it, I'm gonna show you in a bit. Once I'm done applying it, you're gonna see an instant differences between both the eyes. Now it's definitely for someone if you are also going to work and stuff and you want to make sure you take care of your dark circles without having to put orange concealer and then pile it with a lot of foundation. This is a perfect way. Once I blend it out with my foundation brush, you're gonna see the difference and you're gonna know exactly what I mean. Do you see that? It's already smoothened out without me touching the rest of my face. Just compare this eye with the other eyes. Look, I have a raccoon eye on this side and I have a perfect eyes with no like dark circles. This is why I went with this foundation. Now you know why I didn't use any other color. Plus I didn't want to use a bright color because my base is going to be dark anyway. I'm working with smoky eyes. Now to create a perfect base for my smoky eyeshadows to sort of sit onto, I'm gonna go in, I have to decide between these two items. So I was first gonna go with the Pixie Petra. This is their eyeshadow stick. I was gonna go with that, but then later I decided to go with the Smashbox one. Now if you look at her eyes, it has a little bit of that redness and then there's an ombre kind of black eyeshadow going on, so we're gonna create that. So I'm gonna apply this Barista shade. Barista or Barista? I think it's Barista or Barista, anyways, whatever, it's Barista. I'm gonna go with that. And this is the cream eyeshadow by Smashbox. So I'm gonna apply that as my base for today's eyeshadow. Now I know it's a little on the edge of being like a brown burgundy shade, but don't worry because we're gonna, once this is dried, we're gonna be layering it up with some black and smoky eyeshadow. So it's perfectly fine. We can definitely go ahead with this. Now, the reason why I see a little bit of redness and pink in her eyes is maybe because she did two looks for the same music video. So the redness could have come from that previous makeup that she did for her red lehenga, and then later she must have switched it to the black lehenga. So the first color that I'm using for my Tarte palette here is a color called Whimsy, which is like a brownie shade, just to blend out the edges of this cream eyeshadow. Once that's done, we're gonna now use the color called Maud, which is more like the pinkier shadow. And I'm gonna take some more, so you'll see me like I'm working throughout the eyeshadow in steps to create that perfect eyeshadow that Janhvi had for this makeup look. And see, like that's why I was saying how the red came, because if you look at her other makeup with the red lehenga, she has like a simple champagne gold with a little bit of redness around her crease. So they have used the red color, or the pinkish reddish color, as like the crease, and then they used two different colors like gold first and then later switched it to black smoky eyes. So now I'm gonna use this color called Smoked, which is obviously darker. As you can see, it's a darker base compared to my actual Smashbox base. It is more like a charcoal dark brown, like not black but brown shade. So that's what I'm gonna layer my earlier half of my eyes, like the front half of my lid. And then using the color called Indie, now you can totally see that it's forming into like a gray shade, because that color Indie, it's kind of like a coffee color, but it has a little bit of that gray hint to it. So now it's slowly turning into this gray ombre shade. Now taking the color called Punk, which is like a black eyeshadow, I'm now going to start working on the outer edge of my eyes, creating a nicer V shape. And I know a lot of you guys might be thinking why I didn't pick the red lehenga one. Honestly, I have done enough red lehenga and I was done with using just golds and all that color. I wanted to do something different, something that's wearable, and I think smoky eyes on a tan skin tone looks amazing. And this is not only for tan skin tone, I mean every skin tone, a smoky eye looks stunning, right? So I wanted to go with that. Now that I'm using the shade Indie again, and as you see, it just creates an instant shade of ombre. And that's it. See how that looked? That made my eyeshadow game so much more stronger without having to do like a gray first and then a middle tone and then black. And it wouldn't even have turned out this pigmented or this good. Now taking the same foundation by Maybelline, which is the 312, which is called Golden Dore, and it is perfectly my tone. So you'll see the coverage, like instantly it just covers all my hyperpigmented areas and dark circles and everything, creating a very smooth base. Also, the primer that I used earlier helped me create that base as well. And I'm using this brush by Sephora, which is obviously, as you know, is one of my favorite. So if you look at Janhvi's highlighted zones, it's super duper highlighted, but look at her nose contour as well. It's actually like complete. Like usually, you know how I cut in between the bridge? She doesn't have a cut in between the bridge. They just slather all the way on top of the bridge area. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And then exactly underneath her eyes, by the corners of her nose, there's a little bit of brightness, and then there's a little bit of brightness on her bridge of the nose, chin, and around her mouth, especially her laugh line. They wanted to highlight those zones as well, so that's what we're gonna do. Because it's a recreation of that look, so we're trying to kind of recreate that look. And again, not everyone's face is going to be same, but because it's a recreation, we want to go as close as possible. We want to see what are the tricks and tips they have done to create that look. And here I'm just, honestly trying and, kind of like trying my best to sort of figure out what the look could be like or what are the products they could have used. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So once I've started blending it out, you can already see there's a line forming on the sides of my nose as if I've almost cream contoured it, but I didn't. It's actually my actual foundation color. Now that I've highlighted those highlighting zones, it's almost looking like I have used a cream contour to do my contouring, right? One thing I've always noticed about most of the actresses that they have really nice skin. First of all, they have a beautiful canvas to work on too. After that, what the makeup artists do is they use a full coverage but less layer product on them to get a very nice, beautiful base. So I think unless and until they are, sleep deprived or they're working hard and they have serious black eyes or, like under eye dark circles or hyperpigmentation, I don't see the artists use a lot of orange concealer unless and until it's in dire need of it. So I think that's what Janhvi probably did too, because Janhvi has a very nice skin tone from what I've seen so far. For this makeup look, she looked absolutely stunning, and so far this makeup look is turning out just like her, so I'm quite happy. To make sure that I set my under eyes and all the highlighted zones, I've used an angular brush and I've used my Stay Matte Rimmel translucent powder. And this is a look very wearable so far. I'm telling you, this makeup look is so wearable. Like when you say a perfect smoky eyes, I think this is a perfect smoky eyes because it had a very beautiful ombre effect, which is very nice. It starts off very nicely and finishes off very nicely as well. So we're going to try to imitate the contouring of her nose. I'm using a Hoola bronzer for that, and I'm just using a very skinny brush and drawing a straight line just the way she did. Usually I will break it down between the bridge right by the tip of the nose, but today I'm just going to follow her style of contouring, which is just two straight lines coming all the way down. And I'm going to do my usual contour, which is contour a little bit on my forehead, sides of my cheeks, and then of course my jawline. And don't worry, my nose contour, I know it looks very heavy, but in a bit I will show you what I'm going to do. Now to blend all that contour color and highlighted colors together into my skin tone, I'm using NC42 Studio Fix powder and just going over those contour areas just to blend the two colors together so there's no harsh line or anything. And also use that on my neck as well. Now for blush, I'm gonna go with this Modern Mandarin blush. When I looked at Janhvi's photo, there was a little bit of that orangey copperish tone, so I'm gonna go with this one. It definitely has a little bit of that orange copper tone. And usually with the black smoky eyes, this definitely looks nicer. Okay, taking the same translucent powder, I'm just cleaning up my contour lines, and that looks so much more neater and cleaner. See what I mean? The translucent powder just created that line. Using any brush, you can just dust it off. I'm just using my same brush I've used for my blush. Now to remove any powder that have fallen on my eyebrows, I'm using the Gimme Brow thing that I've used earlier to remove everything. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish this makeup off with some Dewy Finish spray by NYX Cosmetics, and I'll show you one more thing a little later, not right now. For mascara, I'm using Superfan mascara. This is by SmashBox Cosmetics. And I'll show you another trick. You know see how I'm using this, the front tip of my mascara to sort of kind of wing my lashes? What I usually do is I light the tip and go over my individual lashes to make them even longer. So it coats the mascara around those individual lashes instead of just going sideways. Basically not using, see what I mean? Like here I'm just going like single-handedly, like going one by one, but using the tip. So first I go with the full actual one, and then I go with like using the tip of the brush, like so. See what I mean? And instantly it just creates a very volume looking lashes. A lot of times they do this, they don't even wear lashes. So you can already see that difference in the lash. So now it's time for waterline. For that I'm using my Inglot Kohl pencil in shade 05, which is kind of like a vanilla shade, like a skin tone almost. And that will make my eyes pop. A lot of people say smoky eyes makes their eyes look more raccoony and all that stuff. When you use this pencil together with a bright under eye highlighter, it instantly makes your eyes pop. You will no longer look like a raccoon. So using this flat brush, I'm now going to go underneath my eyes, and using a black eyeshadow, I'm just creating this under eye shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very soft-handedly kind of connecting the outer V shape and bringing it all the way to the bottom of my eyes and blending it kind of inwards. And also, as you can see, I'm swiping it down because I'm kind of blending it, you know, like towards the bottom a little bit. And then now here I'm just connecting into an outer V, like so. Okay, once that's done, I'm just gonna take another brush, put some black eyeshadow, and just shake off any excess and then start blending it out. And that looks so nice and clean already. There are no fallouts, nothing. For today's lashes, I'm going to be using this Amazonite by Swati Cosmetics, and I'm also going to be using their lash adhesive liner. The good thing about this liner is no matter how thin it is or like thick it is, it will attach those lashes without any glue. So it's just perfect. If you want to achieve a very natural, seamless, no eyeliner look, but just have the mascara on, these lashes like works and sits on your eyes like magic. So look how I'm creating that, you know, lash tight liner. I'm just slightly going right a little above my upper lashes. Like look, this is how I'm lining it out. Very, very thin. It's almost like my liner is invisible. Another way to make your lashes look thicker is if you do this. Put a very eyelash tightening liner, right? And then using this lashes, there's no glue, nothing, and I'm just like putting it right on top of that thin liner. And it's perfect. Like I was shocked. I thought it's not gonna work because I've used so little of that liner. But nope, I was wrong. It attached my lashes so nicely without making any mess, without any like effort. It was so effortless, and instantly that looks so nice. And because the lashes are super duper natural, it just, you can already tell I was amazed by how amazing it was. So here, no lash glue, nothing. You saw how I applied my liner. Here I'm just placing these lashes right on top of the liner. My only job was for me to do was to place it carefully on top of the liner. And without any glue, it just attached right away. And that's it. See? It didn't even look like I was wearing lashes. That's how simple it was. Okay, so going back to this. When you see all these actresses, they don't have a face full of highlighters, because when you do flash photography and you're in a movie setting, there's a lot of lights, and too much highlighter will make you look like you're sweating. So they don't want to do that. That's why a lot of time makeup that comes with just the pressed powder and presses all the sweats away. So they don't want too much highlighting going on, because that's gonna melt and make you look like messy, look like you're sweating. So most of the time they use a makeup setting spray and powder. So that's exactly what we did. We used a Dewy makeup setting spray, and for the highlighter we were very soft-handed, kind of like just for the sake of a little bit of highlighter, we used little highlighter. We don't like put a whole bunch of highlighter, especially when we're doing films or flash photography. That's a no-no. Moving on to the lips, we're gonna be using Spice by MAC. I try to match the lipstick close as possible. This is the Yash by MAC Cosmetics. I've seen a lot of the Bollywood actresses, they either use Ruby, if not Yash, if not Meher. And Meher is actually one of the lipstick on Yash as well, actually. These two are created by Mickey Contractor, who is the MAC Cosmetics of India's, like he's the head of the MAC Cosmetics in India. So Mickey C. He is the one who named Meher, I believe that's after his wife, and then he also named another one called Yash. Not sure who he named it after, but I know he created these two colors. So I layered it up with some Anastasia Beverly Hills Stripped Liquid lipstick as well, just to get the full look. And that's it. See how nice this earrings looks? You can totally wear these earrings and go to any wedding party at nighttime. I thought this makeup was so classic, so beautiful and very beautiful, and it's so classy and classic, you know, like you can totally wear the nude lips with black smoky eyes, and because it has like a pinky reddish brownish kind of transition, it just makes your skin look glowy and beautiful. Look how stunning that look, isn't it? So I had to transform one of my old earrings, and it was actually in the color silver, but as you can see, I have colored it black with my nail polish. That's why it's so shiny, because I used nail polish here. See what I mean? The back is totally that. And it's actually an earring, but I'm going to use it as my tikka. And I'm just placing some bobby pin to secure it. I'm telling you, you can totally rock this look for a wedding party. Like, this is beautiful. Or even Diwali maybe, you know? Like, this is so beautiful, honestly. Even Eid and stuff like that. I thought this look was classy. It was beautiful. Just look at the way it looks. Without wearing the tiara yet. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm telling you, I was mesmerized by this look. Because I personally don't like smoky eyes, but I was in love with this smoky eye. And here I'm just placing that tiara. This tiara I got from Amazon. If you guys want the link for it, I'll definitely link it down below. You guys can have a look. But this tiara is so beautiful. Honestly, it's so beautiful. I couldn't DIY this tiara for sure, because that tiara was amazing. That's it, guys. This is the finished look of this makeup look. I swear you can wear this, minus the tiara for sure, in a wedding party, in a Diwali, in Eid, in any occasion. Both suitable for Western and Eastern outfit. Love, love, love the way this whole transition of eyeshadow looked. From, you know, kind of like a gray to black, and then having that crease, which is kind of like a reddish brown. It turned out so unexpectedly good. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this makeup look. And I will also link down, if not on the video somewhere, of the hairstyle using a straightener. I actually did this hairstyle somewhere in my previous videos. I'm gonna link that as well so you guys can see how I did that. And yeah, you know, this makeup look was just unbelievably good. I'm so happy I chose this over the other one. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and let me know if you happen to watch this movie. I'm actually waiting for it too as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching again. Have a good day. Bye bye.